Unit 3, Lesson 1.
Has anybody ever read a book by Alvin Toffler called Future Shock?
Is it a new book? I haven't heard of it.
No, it was published in 1970.
1970? I wasn't even born then.
My friend Tom and I have read it, and neither of us was born then, but both of us enjoyed it.
Okay, Sam, can you tell all of us something about the book?
Well, Toffler wrote about the effects of increasingly rapid technological and social changes on people.
You mean changes that were happening in the 1970s?
Well, yeah, changes that had started to happen. Toffler predicted that technology would change more and more rapidly in the last 30 years of the 20th century, and he thought none of us would be able to adapt quickly enough.
That's right. By future shock, Toffler meant that the future would arrive before we all were ready for it. He predicted that some of us would suffer from depression and emotional problems. Some people would even become violent from stress.
So, future shock is a little bit like culture shock. Everything is different, and people have problems adapting.
Yes, you have to understand that in the early 1970s, there were no PCs, no email, no DVDs, no satellite communications, not even pocket calculators or digital watches. None of these things existed. Imagine how much life has changed in 35 or 40 years. A very short time in the context of all history.
I can't imagine life without all those things. Pretty primitive. We all seem to have got so used to them.
Yes, well, I'm sure one day your children will think your life was primitive too. Anyway, you might want to read Future Shock. It's a view of the future that is now the present.